Great to have you in today. Absolutely fantastic. Coming up in about 8 minutes, Vincent Goodwell's a Yahoo senior sports writer, covers the NBA, one of the few people in America that agrees on Russell Westbrook with me. Not a huge fan of Westbrook. Listen, there's got to be two of us in the world. I'm on an island all the time here.
So you're not a fan of Westbrook?
I'm over him. I just got over him before everybody else got over him. Everybody else now is coming to the realization that Uncle Colin may have been onto something. But let's not give me any more pats on the back here. So there's some numbers now. These are not small sample sizes. Like, you know, if I said, hey, Shaq didn't play for one Laker game in his prime and they won, that means the Lakers are better without Shaq. Give me a large sample size. We now have a large sample size of Steph and KD playing together. They have played together over 200 games. And when Steph and KD play together, they win 61% of their games. That's very good. We also have a massive, massive sample size when KD and Steph play together. They win 78% of their games. It's a massive sample size, too. And now we have a pretty large sample size that when Steph plays without KD, they win 90% of their games. They're 34-4. This is not 4 games, 6, 8, 9, 12. It's almost 40. And many of those, as we're seeing now, the recent ones are against good teams and now playoff teams. Let's just skip ahead 1 year from today. We know narratives are very powerful in framing legacies. So 1 year from now, Steph, Clay, Draymond, improving young Warriors, Steve Kerr win the Western Conference. I think they will. They've proven they can win without KD. KD goes east. I'm told he'll team with Kyrie. I'll throw this out there. Brooklyn. Yeah, that's actually getting talk now. Brooklyn. They're good, they're fun, they're exciting. But let's go with the averages in both careers. KD doesn't care much about the regular season, is interested, but by the All-Star break is getting ready for the playoffs. Kyrie gets hurt once, maybe twice, difficult to play with, always has been. They win a bunch of games. They're absolutely fun, but because it takes a while to start chemistry, they end up being like a third seed, and they end up playing in the second round Milwaukee, and they get whacked by a team with a better coach, more depth, a big-time star, better chemistry, and that got to the finals the previous year. And what are we saying 1 year from now? Let's start with Steph. That guy didn't need KD. Boy, you know what? We got to put him top 10 all time. Here's the thing about Steph. KD never understood how good he had it. And what will we be saying about KD in a year? I don't understand why I went with Kyrie. Kyrie's just like Westbrook, and Westbrook drove KD crazy. I'm not sure he should have left the Warriors. He's sitting home like LeBron watching the finals on TV. Boy, the grass isn't always greener, I'll tell you that. Skip ahead to a year. You're watching the Warriors sweep without KD. Like, we know in a year what we're going to be saying about Steph Curry. Best shooter all time, leader, ball handler, the system, Kerr, Draymond so amazing in the postseason. Clay doesn't get the respect he deserves. We know the West controls the NBA. Won 14 of the last 20 titles. 80% of the stars are there. I don't know. But we got better or not better, I don't know. But 34-4 and now like 7-0 without KD tells me they're at least fine without KD. They're at least okay. They can sweep the Western Conference Finals without him. No Boogie, no KD, no Iggy last night. Steph's 90%. Look ahead a year. Just look ahead 1 year. Be very careful with your choices, Kevin Durant. Joy Taylor with the news.
No.
Turn on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
So the Lakers have their new head coach. They officially introduced Frank Vogel yesterday.
Yeah.
And in his first public comments as the Lakers head coach, Vogel laid out his path to bring the Lakers back to success.
Okay.
We need to build togetherness with our organization, okay? And I don't just mean with the 15 guys or 17 guys that are going to be in uniform or in that locker room. Okay, I'm talking about organizational togetherness, all right? Starting with ownership to the front office, to the coaching staff, the players, the trainers, the business side. Okay, we are all going to be pulling in the same direction.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
Yeah,
and
no
he's
kidding.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
It all starts from the top and goes down from there. We were talking earlier, you cannot overcome bad ownership and bad management. It doesn't matter how talented you are, how brilliant, how one of a kind and rare, you will not win, because no matter how great you are, they will find a way to mess it up because they make the decisions.
Right.
And he's absolutely right. In order to build a successful on-the-court product, you have to have a successful off-the-court product. Everyone has to be on the same page. Everyone has to have the same mission. You have to have a culture, which the Lakers don't have.
A cohesion. And so Magic yesterday is part of the organization, but was ripping them. And LeBron was smartly disengaged. And we still can't figure out Linda Rambis. Is she like a co-owner? And Kobe is still got some influence, and so does Phil. And what Vogel said is the opposite of what currently is the status of the Laker front office.
And unfortunately, he only has a 3-year contract.
Yeah.
Which is not a standard coaching contract, and he's not going to have enough time to implement something like this. And everything you just said is preventing him from doing that anyway. It's not that he's not right. He's 100% right. I just don't know if he's going to be able to do that.
He's not
given
realistic.
The current situation. Right. So Ben Roethlisberger made his first public comments since the 2018 season ended. So almost 5 months of silence.
Yeah.
In a sit-down interview with KDKA, Ben was asked about when he called Antonio Brown out on his radio show after the loss at Denver. And he was asked if he took the public criticism of his teammates too far. He said, "I know I took some heat, and deservedly so. I genuinely feel bad about that, and I'm sorry. Did I go too far after that Denver game? Yeah, probably, and I regretted it. That's the thing about media and social media and things like that. You can't take it back. I wish I could, because if that's what ruined our friendship and our relationship, then I'm truly and genuinely sorry about that."
I like him owning it.
A little late for that.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown appeared to respond on Twitter. He tweeted Two-Face.
Yeah.
So he obviously did not accept that apology. I'm glad that Ben is talking about it. I'm glad that he is finally acknowledging that was a mistake. But it's just too late for all that. I don't know what I expected to hear from Ben yesterday. I guess this is what I expected. I mean, he was wrong. We all know that. He's the quarterback. It doesn't matter if the receiver is wrong or if you're wrong or if the offensive line is wrong. At the end of the day, if you win, you get the praise. If you lose, you get the criticism.
Well,
that's what happens when you're the leader and the face of the franchise.
Yeah, I mean, listen, everybody's like, it was a terrible interception. Did everybody see the interception Tom Brady threw against the Chiefs? Listen, legends throw horrible passes.
Most interceptions are terrible interceptions.
Right.
Some are a little worse than others.
And by the way, Big Ben had an awful, and Tom Brady's looked just as bad. The reality is, what you can't do when you do that is throw the receiver under the bus. You just eat it.
Well, he also talked about it during the interview. He kind of meant to say he should have thrown it to Juju because Juju was open, and it's a testament to Antonio Brown that he is double teamed.
Yeah.
But it's like, it doesn't matter. You're getting into the nuances, and it's silly. It just own it and move on. There was no reason to call out your teammates. I don't think that this was the one thing that was the issue, but it may have been the thing that pushed everyone over the edge so that they couldn't have conversations anymore. But anyway, like I've said about the Steelers all along, they have a perfect opportunity to show everyone that the dysfunction was really just Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
And if it continues to be chaotic and loud, then we know what the problem was.
Yeah.
We're all here now, so we can watch it unfold together. Finally, speaking of NFL franchises in disarray, no team has been criticized more this offseason than the Giants, probably. They traded Odell and Olivier Vernon to the Browns for a little return and let Landon Collins go to division rival Washington.
Yeah.
But Pat Shurmur was upbeat yesterday because Eli Manning apparently looked good in the first day of practices. And according to their beat writer from Newsday, Eli went 1 for 6 with 2 picks. So there's conflicting reports on how well Eli actually did. But to add insult to injury, Landon Collins told ESPN yesterday, "I know with myself, Snacks, Odell, Vernon, all we wanted to do was win. And we spoke up because we had to get them to listen to us. We had to get them to get us winning pieces to help us at least be contenders. I think we were too vocal. If it's not good media, they don't want that kind of media. And Dave Gettleman never even talked to me. Basically, I don't know him. He don't know me. That's kind of how it just was.
Well, the Giants are very, very aware of media coverage. I think.
No, they're in New York. You have to be.
Yeah, but I think to a fault. You know what's amazing?